Hello Liverpool, hello YouTube, this is Enchanted LifePath TV, and you know when I start putting this theme song over my intro that I mean business. So this week I went out for a little walk around Liverpool city centre, documenting all the Masonic signs and symbols etched into all the buildings as part of my documentary, which I'm going to be doing now. So what I discovered was pretty substantial in regards to the findings that I knew I was going to go and make. So after finding them all and coming back and doing more research and making more discoveries, it's on me now to go and piece it all together and show you exactly what is hidden in Liverpool, the history of Liverpool, and we're going to be covering all sorts of subjects, from the slave trade, from the Freemasons in Liverpool, who are actually one of the founder members of Freemasonry in the UK. We're going to be looking into all sorts, Hillsborough, a lot. So be enchanted. Let's go. The history of Liverpool can be traced back to 1190, when the place was known as Liverpool, possibly meaning pool or creek with muddy water, though other religions of the name have been suggested. The borough was founded by Royal Charter in 1207, but Liverpool remains a small settlement until its trade with Ireland and coastal parts of England and Wales was overtaken by trade with Africa and the West Indies, which included the slave trade. The town's first wet dock was opened in 1715, and Liverpool's expansion to become a major city continued over the next 2 centuries. By the start of the 19th century, a large volume of trade was passing through Liverpool. In 1830, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway was opened. The population grew rapidly, especially with Irish immigrants. By 1851, a quarter of the city's population was Irish-born. As growth continued, the city became known as the second city of the empire and was called the New York of Europe. During the Second World War, the city was planning for the crucial Battle of the Atlantic, which suffered second only to the Blitz of London. Was this the price we had to pay? Was this Liverpool's punishment or payback for glory in previous days and years and centuries and generations? We're going to look into all of this now. It just seems to be that we may find a pattern every time Liverpool's had success. It's also had attacks, be it on a sporting level, an industrial level, and as we can see here, a spiritual level. This is clearly tied into the Beltane Fire Festival, in which children and lives are required by sacrifice, by fire. We will look into all of these satanic links and how Liverpool ties into it all over the course of this documentary. This is Enchanted LifePath TV. This is the history of Liverpool. Keep watching. The father of Nimrod in the book of Genesis was Cush, also known as Bel or Belus, who was the grandson of Noah and the son of Ham. Cush became known as the deity Hermes, which means son of Ham. Ham or Kem means the burnt one, and may have been connected to sun worship. A great network of deities emerged from Babylon and the connections with Egypt. Nimrod was also Enos, the god with 2 faces, who was later known to the Romans as Janus, one of the Anunnaki brothers. Enki, the serpent god, was also known as Ea. The Freemasonic eagle with 2 heads looking left and right, east and west, is symbolic of Nimrod in the role of Enos, and I would suggest that the eagle is symbolic of the winged Draco. Enos, it was said, held the keys to the doors of heaven. He was the sole intermediary between God and humanity. Therefore, any belief not supported by him was false and should be condemned. This is a wonderful tool for the Babylonian priesthood to impose their will on the populace, as exactly the scam has been played by their successors, the Christians, priests, the rabbis, and the priesthoods of Islam, Hinduism, and all the rest. The Roman Catholic title cardinal comes from the word cardo, which meaning hinge, and relates to Nimrod's role as the guardian to the door of heaven. The Babylonian priests established the governing body they called the Grand Council of Pontiffs, a name later referred to the Church of Rome. The Babylonian high priest who instructed the inner circle initiates was known as Peter, meaning the great interpreter. The feast day of the Christian Saint Peter was traditionally celebrated on the day the sun entered the astrological house of Aquarius. The very day that Enos and Janus were honoured. The Babylonian religion, like all lookalikes that were to follow, consisted of two levels. The masses were manipulated into believing superstitions and into taking symbolic stories literally, while the chosen initiates were given the real knowledge on penalty of death if they ever revealed it. In this way, the truth about life, human potential, history and the reptilian agenda were lost to the population and kept for only a few to know. Human sacrifice was fundamental to the religion of Babylon. On wherever Babylon Brotherhood and their reptilian bloodlines had travelled, human sacrifice has always gone with them because the reptilians demanded these rituals. The malevolent ones seem to be additional to blood, and this has been passed on to their crossbreeds, as the evidence I shall present to you. The Babylonian priests were required to eat some of their sacrificial offerings, and so the worst priest, Cannibal, became the term for eating human flesh, cannibal. Molech was another name for Nimrod. Tammuz. Tam means to perfect and Muz means to burn. You can see the symbolism of Tammuz, Molech, therefore, in the rituals of burning children alive in honour of this deity, which staggeringly still goes on today. On Enchanted LifePath TV, we know quite well how history always repeats itself. So now we're going to be looking into how slavery has repeated itself. Be it in Rome, be it in Egypt as we're looking at here, be it in places like Africa, China, all the empires devolved, dabbled in slavery, each and every one of them. So when we look at the effects that it's had on the people who have been ruled under these empires, we're going to see quite well that over the time of history there's been sacrifices made, there's been empires built and raised on slavery, there's been millions of people killed from all around the world. The empires still stand strong today, they're just depicted in different manners. The Greek Empire was hugely influential also. The British Empire used Liverpool to transport Native Americans and Africans. And what is it that ties all these empires together, apart from slavery? Let's make no mistake, throughout history these orders have always came down from the one place, from the New World Order, who were so highly embedded in all we see, including our governments, who were selected, not elected, to carry on the satanic regimes and sacrifices to the gods. So why did he do all this, and why did he worship these gods, and who are these gods, and how do we spot the signs when they're all around us? We just learn how to process the information, we piece it all together properly, and then we provide it. YouTube, this is Enchanted LifePath TV, going on a little Illuminati tour of Liverpool today, and look, the first thing I've walked into, the spirit of Liverpool, Rick Myers in memory on base, but it's a big massive lava bed. The modern popularity of the symbol largely dates to 1911, when the lava building was built. The prominent display of two lava birds rekindled the idea that the lava was a mythical bird that once haunted the local shoreline. They are a male and female pair, the female looking out to sea, watching for the seamen to return safely home, while the male looks towards the city, making sure the pubs are open. An alternative version says that the male bird is looking in to watch over to protect the families of the seamen. Local legend also holds that the birds face away from each other, as if they were to mate and fly away, the city would cease to exist. In fact, they were indeed designed to watch the city, our people and our sea, prosperity. Another legend says that if an honest man and a virgin woman were to fall in love in front of the lava birds, that the couple of lava birds that the statue would come to life and fly away, and the city of Liverpool would cease to exist. Another version of the story is that they are chained down as if they were to fly away. The River Mersey would burst its banks and the flood of Liverpool was immense. This somewhat similar to the mating story. The larva birds faced east and west, just like the two-headed eagle which we heard about earlier. Feature in Liverpool city centre, especially the buildings around the city, and from the heritage of the city in the days back when you're dating back to the slaves and all stuff like this. There's a lot of symbols around the city, and it's all etched into the buildings as well. So if we have a look, you see the sun. We see the symbology everywhere. It is easier to believe in a lie that one has heard 1,000 times than to believe a fact that no one has ever heard before, the missing history about sun worship. If you stop and think about it, for example, Egypt, Asia, Babylon, Medes and Persia, Greece and Rome were the world civilizations of the old world, and the Aztecs, Incas, Mayas, Toltec, culture and Sioux of the new world all worshipped the sun. Apollo, Apollyon, Mercury, Baal, Bel, all these deities all point to the sun and require sacrifice to the gods. We've got seashells, suns, we've got stars, and right in the middle there's a sun. On the top of that there's more features as well. You can see, look at the shape of all the buildings, this square shape with all the windows and the fashion that they are. I actually lived in one of these buildings up in Wood Street, just up that direction, for 6 years. Liverpool Town Hall, like Guildhall in London, Liverpool Town Hall, High Street, Liverpool L2 3SW, was at the centre of the city's trade and activity. The Town Hall dates from 1749 and was designed by John Wood of Bath. Was Wood Street named after Mr. John Wood. The building has an exterior decorative frieze showing African faces, elephants, crocodiles and lions, references to the slave trade where Liverpool gained much of its wealth. All of the city's mayors between 1787 and 1807 were involved in the slave trade. I knew it was Victorian and stuff like that, you could just tell. This creepy little bastard popped up on my wall one day and honestly put the shits up me. A skull with a dagger stuck in the back of its head screaming at me. It was the first time I ever looked into the symbol. It was on 9/11, 2009. Look at these pillars here. This is Primark, Liverpool. Look at the pillars. Since the dawn of civilization, the entrance of sacred and mysterious places has been guarded by two pillars, whether in art or architecture. Twin pillars are symbols representing an important gateway or passage towards the unknown. In Freemasonry, the pillars are named Jachin and Bulge and represent one of the Brotherhood's most recognisable symbols, prominently featured in Masonic art, documents and buildings. And is that not Apollyon? In the New Testament book of Revelation, an angel called Abaddon is described as the king of an army of locusts. His name is first transcribed in Greek, Revelation 9:11, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and then translated in Greek means the destroyer, Apollyon. Oh, this is Enchanted LifePath TV. We walked a few yards, and here's the next building, Marks and Spencer, Liverpool. Wow. Look at all the symbology in all of these buildings. I'll be finding out what all of these mean later on. You can see there's a lot more. And there's plenty more where all this came from as well. Oh, a nice little tour of the city today. What's this thing here? You're looking at all of this. If you look just above that, there's some sort of... There's another, it's going to be a god. It's going to be a god of some sort. See? And then up the top, there he is, Apollyon. There he is, see him with his trident. Tell a lie, it was Neptune. Neptune was the name that the ancient Romans gave to the Greek gods of the sea and earthquakes. Poseidon. He was the father of Apollo, brother of Jupiter, Zeus, and of Pluto, Hades, the devil.
And his son halo around his head. We found him. 5 minutes have been out. Not sure who it is next to him, but we'll show you more examples in a moment. But there you go, 5 minutes. There he is.
Compton House, Church Street, Liverpool 1. Currently occupied by Marks and Spencer, Compton House is the rather haughtily building opposite Spiny House. It was built in 1865 for the retailer J.R. Jeffrey after an earlier building burned down. The scale of this building, originally erected for one retailer, gives the building a unique international status as a contender for world's first department store. As it proceeds bon marche in Paris by 5 years, the two corner towers originally had a very tall square plan roofs, as tall as the 5th story again. They were neither mansard nor spires, but something odd in between. This gave the building something to the look of a French chateau. There is much more carved. This includes the figure of commerce above the broken pediment that once surmounted a single central entrance, and Neptune holding an intact trident together with a triton, flagging Liverpool's coat of arms. At the midpoint of the roofline, the arms of Dominion supported by a lion and a unicorn amid rich modelling adorn the Basnick Street corner. This is the coat of arms of the United Kingdom and the reigning monarch. This usually incorporates the motto "De et Mot Monsurat, God and my right." Although worn and obscured, the motto here is clearly not of that monarch. On the Tarleton Street corner there is a large eagle, which was a beacon for transatlantic travellers seeking the company of fellow Americans in Compton's Hotel. A subsequent use of part of the building after J.R. Jeffries had failed.
And now we've got a nice depiction of the larger bird with the shield on its chest with a load of stars. Let me count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there's 11 stars on it. It's in a triangle as well. If you can see, it's clearly in a triangle. It's hidden in a triangle. Just below it is going to be another god. Now we have a lot of gods of water and all stuff like this in Liverpool because of the maritime stuff, so you're going to see a lot of maritime related symbols here today. Where am I now? I'm in Tarleton Street. The shop that we're looking at is still the Marks and Spencer's one. So yeah, I have only been here a couple of minutes. There's even more stuff on that one there. It's all over the city. Show you more. There's a nice little 6 on the Vodafone store.
Right, so next we're outside the Liverpool Queen Elizabeth, the Crown Courts in Liverpool, and we've got a load of statues. Don't know whether the sun's draining them out on me, but we've got here. This memorial was unveiled by Her Royal Highness Princess Louise, Duchess of Royal, 27th of September 1906. Right, there's roses, there's 3 roses.
This is one of our first chances now to show you how the Illuminati and the New World Order like to hide everything in dualities. So on one hand we've always got the good, but then they like to mock it. The devil deceives, so they always taint it in and take their side of it and make it bad as well. So we're going to show you how they do that now. Here's a prime example of it when we look into the Rosa Mystica, the 3 roses which we've just seen on the monument. Now, then Mary said quite distinctly, "In Fatima I saw devotion to my heart and concession to it, but here in Montichiari I wish to be honoured as the Rosa Mystica, especially in religious houses and institutes. This combined with the devotion to my heart, so that those dedicated to God may acquire richer graces through my motherly heart." What community these words reveal with Fatima. Right, now on the 8th of December 1947, Our Lady appeared in the crowd of the cathedral, descending majestically upon a great white staircase which was decorated on the right and left with white, red and yellow golden roses. Her heart appears gloriously radiant upon her breast like the heart of Fatima, but not as there was round with thorns, but adorned with a white, red and golden yellow rose. She said, "Look at this heart which loves men so much, and which is showered with insults by most. For all my children who heed my words and take them to heart, I have prepared overwhelming graces." Now, what is the meaning of the 3 roses with which the Madonna appears each time in the Montichiari on December the 8th, 1947? These strikingly adorned her radiant heart in all other appearances, especially in Fontanelle, and later they adorned the mantle over her breast. There's a few references to what this all means, but this is the good side of it. Now we're going to go ahead and show you how the devil deceives. Now down the bottom it says Satan too has acquired 3 roses. Satan's white rose, it expresses godless science, atheism, rationalism, liberalism, modernism, humanism, anarchism, and the rest of these godless isms. A form of Freemasonry arose in Germany whose members call themselves the Rosicrucians. A high degree among Freemasons. Freemasons wore a white rose on special festivals. In the church itself, this is, above all, the modernisation of the death of God theology. Modernists deny the divinity of Christ, the miracles, the immortality of the soul, the Holy Trinity, the existence of angels and the existence of devils. They reject hell, purgatory, papal infallibility, and the authority of the church and of parents. They deny everything supernatural. This amounts to the death of religion. On this motu proprio of 8th of September 1888, see all the synchronicities that we're seeing. We keep seeing all the same numbers. We've seen again. So keep going. Satan wanders afresh on the earth. He takes the form of an angel of light. The evil serpent pours out the poison of his wickedness like a polluted river over a deluded and depravated humanity. The spirit of lies, godlessness and blasphemy, and potential breath of unchastity and every shameful vice.
The 2 men are presenting the shit to the old man who's reading the book. We get better pictures. Now the symbol's got the 4 lions here. Another one there. 4 more there. And look at this. It looks like the messenger. Got a heart, there's a big heart here, and then like an angel, she's got a wing. We're still waiting to get to the best little bit here. Now look at this, it says they're erected by the citizens of Liverpool. We're going to have a look at that in a moment. First we'll show you the dick. This site has formerly stood the Castle of Liverpool. So on this exact site here stood the Castle of Liverpool. Again, I don't know who them 3 men are there, but we're going to find all of this out. I don't know whether the camera's picking everything up or not with the sun. It should be. Then look at this queen's dick. See it sticking out? You can only see it on this at these angles. She's got a big sausage. Funny. Right, we're going to go up and look at that now. But what I want to do is look at these ones on the top, because look at him. With his trumpet. The angel with the trumpet.
Now we're looking at the angel of the resurrection. It gets worse. The angel with the trumpet symbolises the announcement of the soul's entrance into heaven or the resurrection.
You see him at the very top? Angel with his trumpet. The sun's too bright there. The next one is a woman holding a child with all children standing at her feet. That's the one down. Turn around, yeah. The room was back. You taking notes on this as well. So on my document.
In a nutshell, what all that was the Queen Victoria Monument, Derby Square, Liverpool.
Here's the City Explorer, Liverpool, the rooftop bus. Any tourists who've been on it, who are watching the video. But what I'm doing is, why I'm looking at a lot of these buildings, I'm looking for the change as well. Because the change in the buildings symbolise the slave trade. And the way Liverpool, look at them masts up there. Wonder what they're for. And if we look down that direction where it may go down shortly, because there's the Cunard buildings and stuff down there. But first, where I'm going to is the Liverpool Echo right now. Here we've got a building, number 17. Manhattan Bar and Grill, but called the Eagle Chambers. We'll be looking into that later on. Looks all very Egyptian to me. Pub called the Slaughterhouse. Hidden in plain sight. Bulls, Bar, Molech. Opening soon. The Alchemist. Blasphemy. Square, a circle in a square, in a triangle, in a circle. The Alchemist, Liverpool. The Alchemist live. At the Alchemist live. We don't want you here. Those who know.
Alchemy, the secret art of chem, is one of the two oldest. The alchemy has long been known as black art. The battle of good versus evil, as above, so below.
More Masonic buildings. Look at the buildings, look at the shape of them.
Masonic buildings can be found all over the world, not just Liverpool, where we have a total of 26 registered Masonic lodges.
The shape of them all. Up here now on all of these pillars here we've got, yeah look, we've got a phoenix. Rising from the ashes, see the phoenix? At the top. There's the serpent and the sword. See that there? At the bottom. Serpent and the sword. Two serpents that one's got. It's got a load of pillars. Everything is mirrored. Everything is symmetric. I don't know what this sort of T-shaped S means. But it's the circle, a big massive sun as well. A big sundial. Now look at these on every single thing. Welcome to the Illuminati Liverpool, Masonic Liverpool, one of the most Masonic places in the whole of the UK, if not the world, How hidden in plain sight is all this? Sun worship, just to get a good shot. That's not too similar to the life book, it's got a star in it as well. I think it's the flower of life, look at the shape, you know what I mean. But again, look at all these, 1, 2, 3. Bit of Alexander then, Hardy. There's Apollyon again. Look at the youth. Yeah, look at the sun behind. That's Apollyon. Again. So yeah, Alexander. We are Egypt, we are all. Look at the pillars, the Masonic pillars in the mall. What we've just seen, the first thing we've seen. We've got serpents. See all the maritime, like mermaids or something. With the serpents. Now, let me have a look, I can see this one a bit more clearly now. Show what the little baby is. Who's this fella? Again. again, he's got a ship, another god of the sea. Big M for Masonic. 13, M is the 13th letter. Next, got this statue here.
This one's Nelson's monument. I'm sure this will have a little skeleton or two up its sleeve like everything else we've seen all video.
Sun worship, there's the change. Got a battle. I'm going to find out what all of this is. England expects every man, sorry, this like in here, England expects every man to do his duty. That's what it says. England expects every man to do his duty.
Straight away, this monument, Nelson's monument, draws up some startling synchronicities. I'm going to teach you all about the synchronicities which appear everywhere later on when we get to the Hillsborough part of the documentary, but for now just let me highlight a few so it all makes sense later on. The monument consists of a bronze statue on a stone. The base's overall height is 29 feet, there's our first 11 reference. 8.8 metres, there's our first 88 reference, and the circumference of the base is 95 feet, 9 at 5 is 14, and another 4 is 18, 3 6s are 18, here's another 11 reference with a 1 after it, with the 29 there, 2 and 9 is 11. The base consists of a drum-shaped pedestal in Westmoreland marble. It is 8 feet, 10 inches, there's another 8 reference, 10 as 8 is 18, 3 6s are 18, here's another 9 reference, 27, 2.7 metres high. It stands on granite basement of 6 feet, another 6 reference, 1.8 metres high, another 18 reference, 3 6s at 18. Seated around the pedestals are statues depicting the man-clan prisoners sitting in poses of sadness. They represent Nelson's major victories, the battles of Cape Vincent, the Nile in Copenhagen and Trafalgar. Set into the drum between the statues are 4 bronze bas-reliefs depicting other naval actions in which Nelson was involved. Encircling the pedestal above the statues are swags of laurel hanging from behind lions' heads, attached to rings in the lion's mouth, a chain that descends from a manacle to the prisoners at the top of the pedestal in a comic key with an inscription in the letters reading, "England expects every man to do his duty." So let's just see if there's any more quick numbers in here straight away. On top of the pedestal is a bronze figure, 14 add 2 is 16, 2 8s. It's another 88 reference, 4.3 metres high, 7 feet, 2.1 metres high.
All the way around it. More suns. The people in chains depicting slavery. We are slaves, we are Rome, we are Egypt. And all around us, this big massive square. Cotton Exchange is full of it all. Here we can see more. These one are 4 women. These are 4 sisters. 1, 2, 3, 4. with this big one around the front. I'll go and get the footage of that in a moment, probably on the way back. That big one that I've missed at the top. Here we've got a World War I memorial with the trident. He's got his trident back out. The soldiers killed in World War I. And it says Pro Patria 1914. Sorry, Pro Patria 1914 to 1919 in remembrance of members of the Liverpool Exchange newsroom who gave their lives for right and freedom and whose names are recorded in the adjoining tablets, and of those sons of members who laid down their lives in the same great cause, in gratitude to all members and sons of members who served their country during the war. The names are all recorded in the book of service. Here's all the names. But there's another trident again. And above them is some more stuff. These are all gods. We've got another one now, big one. Water again. He's got a big jar in his hand pouring water out. I'm not sure whether that turns into the serpent's tail here. And what's around this side? An anchor. Not sure who he is, but I'll find out again. This is on Old Hall Street. Leave all my little reminders for myself. Now, that's where I am, outside the Liverpool Echo. It's going to be this building here or that one there. So, we're going to stealth mode now anyway. Like I was saying earlier, Trinity mirror. Trinity is 3, 3 mirrors is 33. This is who the founders of the Liverpool Echo are. Gone but not forgotten, justice for the 96.
So now I went and spoke to the managing editor. On this one here, I was just talking to the girl at the reception, so I didn't want to see this video and go mad saying, I don't like the sound of my voice on that and all that. Well, people like the sound of their own voice. So anyway, what this is, we've got another double serpent around the sword. We've got the messenger, and it's just gone out of my head what his name was. Look at his foot though, it's coming out of a baby's mouth. And again, it is another one of these gods. She was saying someone actually came in and offered £1,000 for this statue, which is actually on the reception inside the Liverpool Echo. Yep. Now you know it's bad when you can't go anywhere at all without just seeing all this shit everywhere. I'm not a soft cunt. Get me out of here!
Oh well, that wasn't so bad, was it? I thought I'd be coming out of there all angry with them, wanting to take them out and looking into the people who I spoke to and looking into all their little deals and dodgy deals and looking into the tax affairs and everything, but no, it went quite well. Need to mix with them people, don't like to learn the little tricks of the trade basically. So that's why I've just done that, and it's just pointed me in the right direction, because even if I did go on a little course or something, I'd be mixing with them type of people. So watch this space. Oh, something else I've just seen now, big massive sun, 2 larva birds either side of it. Let me have a look. There's a castle in the middle of the sun. Not sure whether that's the castle of Liverpool, which we see stood on the where the Crown Court stands. Sorry, some of my footage has been a bit shaky, hasn't it? But anyway, we've come down this street before in one of my other videos while I've been in town, and we'll have a look at this building down the bottom in a moment. And again, Liverpool showing its loyalty to the Queen. Queen insurance buildings. Again, look at the shape, look at the design of all the buildings. Yeah, just seeing a blatant devil. Show you this now, just come up to this building, what's got, you can see there's a devil on it, there's a bit of bad haze there. This one on the end.
A horned deity, a satanic symbol known as the Baphomet, is based on an Egyptian ram deity from the emerging Sununos.
Just above the little square window on the left. and then next to it we've got another thing, and then we've got like a goat. No, it's an elephant, is it? Got an elephant.
Another example of elephant tusks depicting the African slave trade on buildings in Liverpool.
There's a load of symbology, but that's a devil. It's got horns. Big dog thing with horns, just something it is. Absolute madness. Around the streets of Liverpool. Again, we've got more suns and 4 more godlike figures on the top, all probably the same people we've been seeing all day.
She's a waterfall. She'll carry on through it all. She's a waterfall.
Sounds of Liverpool. Liverpool's also got the best buskers in the world. Brilliant. Listen there. I gotta worry, she could eat my acres.
So now it's time to find out what the fucking hell Liverpool's got to do with devils and slaves and gods and sacrifices and the Illuminati. On EnchantedLifePath.com, in the Enchanted LifePath section, Liverpool decoded. Start to see just when Liverpool started doing these little dodgy deals with the devil, and we can see all the wealth and all the power that was handed to Liverpool, and how the monarch seen Liverpool as pivotal in all of this. This has continued for a couple of centuries, as we've learned. If we have a look, on the 3rd of October 1699, the very same year that Liverpool has been granted status as an independent parish, Liverpool's first recorded slave ship, named Liverpool Merchant, set sail for Africa, arriving in Barbados with a cargo of 220 Africans, returning to Liverpool on 18th of September 1700. Following month, a second recorded ship, the Blessing, set sail for the Gold Coast. The first wet dock in Britain was built in Liverpool and completed in 1716. It was the first commercial enclosed wet dock in the world and was constructed for a capacity of 100 ships. By the close of the 18th century, 40% of the world and 80% of Britain's Atlantic slave activity was accounted for by ships that voyaged from the docks at Liverpool. Liverpool's black community dates from the building of the first dock in 1715 and grew rapidly, reaching the population of 10,000 within 5 years. The growth led to the opening of the Consulate of the United States in Liverpool in 1790, the first consulate anywhere in the world. So you can start to see all of this. We start linking it all into the Cunard building, the 5 Graces, the Empire. We have a look here, the clear Illuminati triangle. I've depicted this earlier on in the thing, but it is just clearly is. We're going to find out a lot more about all of this. Vast profits from the slave trade transformed Liverpool into one of Britain's 4 most important cities. Liverpool became a financial centre, rivaled by Bristol, another slave import, and beaten only by London. In the peak year of 1799, ships sailing from Liverpool carried over 45,000 slaves from Africa. Many factors led to the demise of slavery, including revolt, piracy, social unrest, and the repercussion of corruption, such as slave insurance fraud. The Zong massacre in 1783, it was Liverpool-born politician William Roscoe who spearheaded the anti-slavery movement in Parliament at the time. What they actually done was, all the slaves who were then tossed overboard, if you were sick, if there wasn't enough food and stuff like this, you were tossed overboard, and then the ship companies, slave traders claimed on the social insurance. So that's where the slave insurance frauds stated there, that is actually categorised in history and documented. Slavery in British colonies was finally abolished in 1833. We've got a 33 reference there. And slave trading was made illegal in 1807 through some slavery apprenticeships ran until 1838, which is in However, many merchants managed to ignore the laws and continued to deal in slave trafficking, also underhandedly engaged in financial investments for slaving activities in the Americas. Now there's no way that all of these figures and all of this activity going on without it being under the watch of all of these satanic little guys which we've been learning about under the government to carry out it all. And when you looked around all the buildings in Liverpool before, a lot of money's been put into all them. The only people who've got that money and the only people who've got these type of plans is the New World Order. Still think that these don't exist? Look at this report in the Express from Friday the 10th of June 2016. Inside Bilderberg, leaders and elites meet in Illuminati style to decide the New World Order. The world's most secretive gathering of global leaders and elites began yesterday with prime ministers and presidents, bankers and former heads of CIA and MI6 topping the guest list. We read on now, look at all the imagery that they're using, they're just shoving it in our faces, they know what they're doing. All the newspapers and everything are run by these same people. Look at this. Now the 64th annual Bilderberg conference is being held in Dresden, Germany from today until Saturday, sending ardent Illuminati New World Order conspiracists into a frenzy. If ever the powers that be wanted to fuel a theory that there was a secret sect above the elected rulers of the top world's nations, then Bilderberg is how to do it. Inside, no journalists are allowed and there are no opening or closing press conferences or statements. On top of this, no minutes are taken and attendees are urged not to discuss what goes on inside with anyone else. This is classic Illuminati. But what they also do is they also take part in satanic rituals. They'll be drinking blood, there'll be sacrifices, human sacrifices, child abuse, everything goes on at these, and in the minds of these people, this is how these people live, this is the world they live in. The organisers of the Bilderberg meetings claim it is just the world's biggest lobby group and talking shop is a fuck. Right, now look at all this. What is Bilderberg group? This is all in the Express. Look at it. It's all stuff I've been showing you all the way through it. And look at the people who they're all pointing it all to. We're going to learn a lot about Skull and Bones and everything in the Hillsborough part of this. It all ties in. Attendees this year include representatives of the Dutch Bank, the European Central Bank, Lazard, plus oil giants Shell and BP. Bilderberg's organisers deny any global conspiracy, say they never sought any publicity. They're giving themselves the publicity here, putting this story out, and deny they can choose the next US president or select where the next war will take place. So they're telling us that they've selected the next president and where the next war is going to take place. That's what's discussed. Read between the lines. No one speaks to them how they deny this, and no. The 3-day meeting is chaired in the Henry de Castries, the 61-year-old French count who is chairman of global insurance firm AXA. A is 1, X is 10, A is 1. There's going to be something in all of this. There's going to be a frenzy in there for us to go and look into. There will be 126 people taking part at the agenda. Topics include China, Europe, migration, all things that problems that they've all made, and then they're going to come along with the big evil solution. And everyone will think, oh yeah, these are great. The Middle East, Russia, geopolitics, what about the chemtrails, geoengineering, stuff like that. They're all murderous bastards, that's what they are. So let's get to the point. Who are these Freemasons, these Masonic people? Whereabouts are they in the city of Liverpool? What influences have they had in the city of Liverpool? And what possible influences have they had on troublesome times in the city of Liverpool? We're going to find out now in chapter 2, which is all about the Masonic Liverpool, hidden in plain sight. After this we can move into Hillsborough, look more closely into a report which I did 2 weeks before any of these reports about Freemasonry coming out in the papers. Before we get to all that, I've just got to teach you who these people are and the type of things that they can have involvement in, including the sinking of the Titanic, which was again another big hoax. A huge sacrifice designed in Liverpool. For over 150 years, the city of Liverpool has had citizens actively involved in Freemasonry. 150 years ago, the lodges of Liverpool met in various locations around Liverpool. The Masonic leaders at the time realised that the central meeting place for Liverpool Freemasons was needed to be established, and thus the Masonic Hall in Hope Street came into being. Various locations were looked at, including premises in Colquitt Street, Seal Street, as well as the site of the Newington Chapel and Renshaw Street. Liverpool's Masonic Hall is in the province of West Lancashire. The province is not only the largest of the provinces ranged under the banner of the United Grand Lodge of England, it is also claims to be the birthplace of English Freemasonry. The initiation of Elias Ashmole in Warrington in Lancashire on the 16th of October 1646 is the earliest recorded initiation into English Freemasonry. Liverpool is the headquarters of the province of the greatest concentration of lodges. The building in Hope Street, referred to as the House in the Garden, was purchased on the 27th of April 1857. It was April 23rd, 1858 that the committee met for the first time to discuss the possibility of converting the property for purposes of Freemasonry. As a result, on October the 8th, 1858, to the delight of membership, the hall was declared open. Now look at this sick piss take on abortion, then look closer who it is. Liverpool's most famous Freemasons are undoubtedly the Beatles. Now the Beatles were an Illuminati creation. The songs were written for them and handlers scripted their actions and words. They've demonstrated that popular culture is really mind control. In his book, The Committee of 300, former MI6 officer John Coleman reveals that the Beatles were a psychological operation run by the Tavistock Institute for Human Relations. The Beatles were created to advance the formation of a corrupted, Brave New World style slave populace. This agenda kicked in big time during the 1960s, with rock groups acting as social agitators. Free love, drugs and rock music were promoted to replace Christianity. The Illuminati introduced the New Age movement, spiritual doctrines that do not require the individual to follow moralistic law. The front cover of the Sgt. Pepper album features the Beatles' heroes. They include a whole host of Illuminati stooges: Aldous Huxley, Karl Marx, Aleister Crowley, H.G. Wells and George Bernard Shaw, among others. Tellingly, it includes call-outs of the Beatles in their early days. It is an admission that they also served the Illuminati. In 1963, Paul McCartney said, "Christianity doesn't fit in with my life." In 1966, John was more forthcoming, telling Newsweek, "Christianity will go, it will vanish and shrink. I needn't argue about that, I am right and I will be proved right." In the 60s, the big record labels had total control over artists. Do we believe the Beatles could have spouted anti-Christian sentiment in opposition of their label EMI? Their photos were already clearly designed by Illuminati handlers. A shocking example is the alternate cover to Yesterday, Today album pictures the Beatles covered in the body parts of dead babies. This was a sick laugh at abortion, the inevitable result of the free love agenda the Beatles were promoting. The conclusion is, the present rock and roll scene is giant, multimedia portrait of degradation, a sleazy world of immortality, venereal disease, anarchy, Nephilinism, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, death, Satanism, perversion and orgies. In the style of true Satanists, the Beatles sold as sickness as love, a reminder that the world is controlled by a satanic cult, the Illuminati, that hates God and hates you and hates me and hates everyone and wants us all to die. And now we're going to see that the Beatles were not the first Freemasons who represented Liverpool to establish and set up bases out in America. Here we find a town in New York called Liverpool, New York. Take note of the shape of the bull's head inside the map of New York. Blasphemy, this will be important shortly. Liverpool, New York. Liverpool is a lakeside village in Onondaga County, New York, United States. The population was 2,347 at the 2010 census. The name was adopted from the city of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. The village is located in Onondaga Lake in the western part of the town of Salina and is northwest of Syracuse. I've done an awful lot decoding all of this after all of this started popping up. Now, the history of the area. The area was originally inhabited by the Rockies starting in the 16th century. The mid-17th century Canadian French Jesuits, the most evil bastards out of all of these secret societies, the founders of it and everything, visited the area, setting up missions. These were not very permanent, however. An example of these missions is St. Mary among the Rockies. And Onondaga Lake, just outside the village, once the Erie Canal and Oswego Canal were built, the area was settled by Irish workers, Yankee settlers and later German immigrants. The early recorded name of the village was Little Island. The Lucius Gleason House and Liverpool Cemetery are listed on the register of historic places. Now the fact that that's just even mentioned Jesuits and Little Island, you've got salt museums, there's a lot of things in common with Liverpool. Now we've been looking into mirrors and how everything's all synchronised off and mirrors off. Twins, we've got the Twin Towers in America, we've got the Twin Towers in Liverpool, disguised as the larger birds. Now there's a lot of these Twin Towers all around the world, they're all situated by water with an as above, so below theme. I will show you that right now. Does Liverpool, the second city of the empire, have an evil twin? 33,006 miles away, New York. Here we can see the Liverpool waterfront, depicted as always with the as above so below scene. Can you see the water, see the Twin Towers? Now we'll see this all depicted in New York with their waterfront also. Same things over in New York, same teams, same water, same as above so below, same shipping, port. Now New York was modelled on Liverpool. Don't believe me? I'll show you right now. Here's just one of many reports you can find pertaining to the fact that New York Central Park was in fact modelled on Birkenhead Park over in the Wirral. Central Park was designed by an American landscape architect, Frederick Law Olmsted, following a visit to Birkenhead in 1850. Professor Robert Lee, chair of Friends of Birkenhead Park, hopes the visit will improve links between the parks. Mr. Blonsky said it was a big deal for them to visit the park. We look forward to developing an exciting and productive exchange program between Birkenhead Park and Central Park, New York, which will bring together park staff, volunteers and reinforce the community importance of the two world's most important parks. So that's just one report. So we all know how these sick fucks and these governments like to attack the city of New York and the people of New York. Let's have a look how they might have done the same to the city and the people of Liverpool in the past, shall we? Most recently was the Liverpool Alderhay Children's Hospital. Now, close to 2,000 pots containing body parts from 850 infants were found in these pots. These were taken illegally by the hospital. There was a big inquest. Here she is, little witch, Margaret Thatcher, doing the Apollyon V sign. Now, what she done to the city of Liverpool was she showed up with her government and she attacked it by closing all the docks, bringing a load of drugs to Liverpool, and she also had a huge part in the cover-up of the Hillsborough disaster, which we're going to look into right now. Truth stranger than fiction with Enchanted LifePath TV. Read between the lines, search for answers, find more questions.
on you, boys. It's all on you now. You are the eyes of the world. You've got to show this to everybody.
Order. Statement, the Prime Minister.
Oh no, what's going on here? My world is turned around and I'm upside down like oh, right, I don't know where my feet are up off the ground and I'm upside down now. All over the sudden the bottom flow is the top flow. The top flow beneath my feet and man it feels so low. Everything's changing, the situation's taking me on a ride. All over around, are chasing me down and I got no place to hide. If everyone could walk my world my way, then I'll be the king of the world. No one would dare do not come out to bothering me. I'm feeling the speed, feeling this H-E-A-T. Inevitable, it's out of control, turning me inside out and upside down. Oh no, what's going on here? My world is turned around and I'm upside down like oh, right, I don't know where my feet are up off the ground and I'm upside down now. Knock down, right down, 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 smack down, right down, 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 man down, man down, 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 down. So turn around, right down, 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 down.
My world's flipped, inside and out. I've been in a cloud, but now instead of living it up, I'm living it down. Look, there's a clown that frowns, of course. Assume me the king, then do a few things. Don't think there's a price to pay. But look at me now, I've been in a cage and put my life on delay. With nowhere to run, I nowhere to hide. I'm out of disguise, there's rules to abide. I thought I could fly, smack the ground. Everything steady been crashing down. I had it all, but all was never enough. And if you haven't learned your lesson, you just never been cuffed.
Oh no, what's going on here? My world is turned around and I'm upside down like oh, right, I don't know where my feet are up on the ground and I'm upside down now. Knock down, right down, 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 smack down, around up in a scandal. Hey, caught in a mess I can't undo. Whoa, what happened to me can happen to you. La 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 turned around and I'm upside down like, oh, right, I don't know where my feet are up on the ground and I'm upside down now. Knock,
I came to see a destroyed city, but I found unconquered people. Winston Churchill said this after Liverpool Blitz during World War II. This is Enchanted LifePath TV. Yo, Casey, come and help me out with this one, mate.
Hey guys, Enter the Stars.
Thinking
We are the news.
If you're still here by now, you're a legend, and thanks a lot for watching. I've just had such a good time making this video. I am trying my best to improve all my videos, the output of them all. So if you like watching this one, please subscribe, share the video, share the information. This has never been put together by any single reporter from anywhere before. I am the first. So thanks for watching, and please follow the journey, because I am going to be keeping so many things going. It's unbelievable. Yeah, nice one for watching. Speak soon.